80% of our deepest emotional wounds do not come from our declared enemies. They come directly from the people we once called our closest confidants. Why do we continue to tolerate relationships that quietly erode our spiritual foundation in the name of blind loyalty? Is this endurance truly the unconditional love that God commands? Or is it actually a hidden form of disobedience? I used to believe that cutting ties with a friend was a sign of spiritual failure and selfishness. I asked myself how I could preach forgiveness while actively choosing to walk away from someone. But then I realized a profound truth in the ministry of Jesus. He loved the thousands and healed the multitudes, but he only allowed 3 people into the room during his most sacred moments. Love is freely given to everyone, but access to your inner circle must be strictly guarded. Today, we will uncover 6 types of friends that God warns you to distance yourself from, not to make you lonely, but to align you with his ultimate purpose. The first individual you must immediately distance yourself from is the gossip friend. This person does not just share casual rumors or benign social updates with you. They use your private struggles and your tears as a form of currency to buy attention from others. I still remember the agonizing moment I walked into a room and heard my most vulnerable family crisis being discussed. The very details I had shared in deep confidence were being used to entertain a circle of casual acquaintances. Proverbs chapter 20 verse 19 directly warns us that a gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. When someone continuously hands you the secrets of others, they are simultaneously trading your secrets away. The second person to step away from is the anger-driven friend. This is not someone who simply has a bad day or struggles with occasional impatience. They are emotionally toxic individuals who actively look for conflict to validate their inner chaos. Proverbs chapter 22 verses 24 and 25 commands us not to make friends with a hot-tempered person. If you stay in their storm for too long, you will slowly adapt to their destructive patterns and lose your peace. The third individual is the envious friend, who only celebrates when you are failing. They are intensely present and comforting when you are going through a crisis, because your pain makes them feel superior. But the exact moment God lifts you up or answers your deepest prayer, their mask immediately cracks into cold silence. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 30 reminds us that envy rots the bones from the inside out. A true companion sharpens your joy, but an envious heart views your blessing as their personal deprivation. The fourth individual you must distance yourself from is the spiritually indifferent friend. They do not actively mock your faith or throw insults at your Christian beliefs. Instead, they politely mute your passion and make your devotion feel like an awkward social burden. Every time you try to share a breakthrough or ask to pray, they swiftly change the subject with a cold smile. I used to tell myself that staying close to them was a mission to save them from darkness. But I was deeply wrong, because I was actually allowing their silent apathy to quietly extinguish my own spiritual fire. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14 asks, what fellowship can light have with darkness? The fifth person is the controlling friend who attempts to manage your life instead of sharing it. They hide their manipulation inside the beautiful costume of care and deep protection. They demand your absolute submission and make you feel guilty for taking any step without their direct approval. Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 declares that it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. When a person demands that you listen to their opinion before you obey the voice of God, they are forming a chain around your spirit. The sixth individual is the seasonal friend who only appears during your harvest. They love the fruit on your branches, but they completely disappear when your roots are tested by winter. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 4 and verse 6 remind us that wealth attracts many companions, but poverty isolates us. If someone only occupies a seat in your life when your stage is bright, they have no right to access your heart when the lights go down. Walking away from a toxic friendship is not an act of vengeance or spiritual failure. It is a crucial act of stewardship over the beautiful peace that God has entrusted to your soul. You do not need to initiate a dramatic confrontation or carry a heavy stone of resentment in your heart. Instead, you must gracefully reposition them from your sacred inner circle to your broader social perimeter. Follow the perfect model of Jesus, who extended his boundless grace to the entire multitude but only shared his deepest secrets with 3 trusted individuals. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, commands us above all else to guard our heart, for everything we do flows from it. Protecting your spiritual alignment does not mean closing your heart to love. It means being wise about who holds the key to your life. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If this message brought clarity to your relationships, please subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs the courage to step into freedom.